Hi, my name is Usman. I'm the lead photographer at Sonder Creative, and today I want to talk about some of the new announcements from Canon and Nikon. Nikon recently announced the D850, which has been really well received. A lot of people are very happy with the features. If you're reading any of the blog posts or any of the articles online, like from F-stoppers and so on, you'll know that the overall perception and how it's been received is extremely positive. People are happy about the D850. People were not happy about the 5D Mark IV, but looking at the features and the comparison between the two, the D850 seems like it's going to be miles ahead of the 5D Mark IV. It's got better resolution, it's probably going to shoot sharper and more detailed images because of the lack of having the low pass filter. Better low light capabilities potentially. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to compare it, but in any case, it's definitely going to have better low ISO performance and better dynamic range as well. Overall, I think that Nikon just make better cameras. They really do. They really go out of their way to make that better camera, to add those extra features in. The 4K features on the D850 as well, full frame, and it has focus peaking. I don't think it has focus peaking in 4K, but the fact that it does is still extremely useful. Canon just doesn't have things like that. Canon doesn't tend to innovate as much, or they don't tend to compete with the rest of the market. You know, Nikon, Sony, and Fuji, all these companies are making some fantastic cameras, and Canon want to remain in their own little bubble, and I am a bit disappointed about that. And when the D850 was initially announced, I was strongly considering a move from Canon to Nikon because the D850 just looks so much better. And I was really considering that until Canon came out with their new lenses. And the new tilt shift lenses, it's the 50mm, the 90mm, and the 135. And considering the iShoot architecture, tilt shift lenses are very close to home. Tilt shift lenses are the kind of lenses that I use day in, day out. The 24 and the 45, they're my main two lenses. I will take them everywhere for every single shoot that I do. I'll use the 90mm on occasions as well. I don't own the 17mm, but I will rent the 17mm on odd occasions. I've only used it like twice because there were only 2 occasions when I've ever needed it so far. But the other 3, I take them pretty much everywhere. They are my main lenses. And the fact that Canon have replaced the 45 and the 90 with their newest update, I'm very pleased with that. And they've also released a 135 f4, which looks very interesting to me. I don't know if I'm going to be buying that one specifically, but I definitely want to try it. I think that's going to be a very interesting lens, especially if you're shooting like cityscapes and so on, or if you're shooting buildings from a very long distance. Probably more suited for product and macro kind of shots with the 135. But for me, I think it would be quite useful because at the moment I'm using the Zeiss 135 for those long distance architectural shots. But if I can use the tilt shift, that would be very interesting for me. And this is one thing that stopped me from switching over between Canon and Nikon. And I think this has been the case for a while. Canon just don't innovate as much when it comes to their cameras, but they put a heck of a lot of effort in their lenses because their tilt shift lenses are the best. They are hands down the best across the board. The 24 tilt shift, I've compared it to a Ronin stock, and the 24 tilt shift beat the Ronin stock easy. It wasn't, you know, it just beat the Ronin stock. And the fact that it's beating those kind of lenses, you know that it's the best. The other lenses that they make as well, like the 70-200, the 85-1.2, and now they've got an 85-1.4 with IS, which I believe is the only 85mm with IS. Wait, no, actually the Batiste. Does the Batiste have IS? I think it does. I think it might do. In any case, this is the first DSLR lens, I'd say, with IS. And then other lenses, like they've got the 11-24, they've just got better lenses in their lineup, much more capable lenses as well. So for specialist photography, Canon is definitely the place to go. And when you're looking at it from the last 5 or 6 years, Nikon have been making better cameras, like the D810. The D810 was way better than the 5D Mark III. But I still stuck with the 5D Mark III because the lenses on Canon are better. And I think the lenses make more of a difference than an extra stop of dynamic range. Dynamic range is really overrated. Lenses make the difference. If you have the right lens, if you have a lens that you know is going to be able to get you the kind of shot that you want every single time, that will beat dynamic range, ISO, low ISO performance, you know, any other feature that you can think of, they become secondary or tertiary. The lens makes all the difference. It really does. And if you can find that lens which is going to get you that shot, which is going to make your photography or your images, I would stick with that system. I really would. And for me, the tilt shift lenses from Canon, they do it. They do it every time. So, based on that, I'm still a little disappointed about the 5D Mark IV, and I think that if Sony ever come out with a replacement to the A7R Mark II, then I may consider buying it. But knowing Sony, they just tend to have a few issues in terms of their cameras. I mean, the A9 wasn't one without any issues as well. The A7R Mark II, the A65, the A60, basically all of their cameras just tend to have a few problems, and they just don't have those pro features that I want or I need in my cameras. So I guess I'm sticking with Canon. I'm not disappointed about staying with Canon, but I am disappointed that Canon don't necessarily want to compete in the cameras and, you know, giving up features and updating the cameras the way that a lot of their users want. What do you think? What do you guys, what are your thoughts? I'd love to know what you think about the latest announcements from Canon and Nikon. Do you think you'll be buying tilt shift? Do you use tilt shift lenses? Have you ever tried them? Do you think that Nikon have the lenses that you want? I think that Nikon makes some fantastic lenses, don't get me wrong. But personally, for my use, I think that Canon make better lenses. But what are your thoughts? Leave your comments below, leave your suggestions below if you have any suggestions for any videos that you want me to make or anything like that. Hit the like button if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. That's my phone. Thanks. Anyway, see ya.